Hi, this is Diana, the Midnight Rose. I wanted to talk a little bit today. We have a lot of really big astrology events coming up in this whole year, but one that is coming up pretty quickly that is really important is when Saturn is going to meet the Sun, go Cazimi. And Cazimi's when the planet goes exact with the Sun. Before it's leading up to the Sun is overshadowing it. And we say that the planet is kind of going through a death to be reborn after it passes Cazimi in conjunction with the Sun. Well, Saturn and the Sun coming together is going to be really significant. Let me put it this way. There's a moment before every great shift when the pressure is unbearable, when the weight of what isn't working threatens to crush everything beneath it. That moment is now, or more precisely, March 12th at around 10:20 a.m. Eastern Time. It'll be different for different locations, but around there for everyone, give or take a little. And that is when Saturn meets the Sun in a rare Cazimi, standing at the heart of the solar furnace. This just isn't any conjunction because Mercury does this pretty regularly. Venus sometimes, every planet does. Those do it more frequently, but because Saturn is an outer planet, it is a slow moving planet, this is more rare. Um, and this is what I would call a black sun moment because Saturn, I see Saturn as the black sun. It's kind of the opposite of the sun. The sun is about expansion and happiness, and Saturn is about darkness and cold and limitations. It can be spent in a positive way too, discipline, hard work, but that's kind of the inherent nature of Saturn. So this is like we say this is a black sun moment, but it's like an eclipse without the moon, a death and a resurrection all at once. So think of like when you look at an eclipse, normally it's the moon that passes in the way of the sun. And this is Saturn, the black sun, the black planet, a planet of darkness. So think of it like an eclipse. Saturn is the great limiter, the architect of boundaries, and he steps into the sun's core and is momentarily burned away. The sun burns him up, even as cold as Saturn is. What happens when the planet of walls and restrictions dissolves into pure solar fire? A boundary falls. A door is kicked open, and there is no standing in the threshold. You either step through or you turn away forever. This is what you might actually call a shit or get off the pot moment of cosmic proportions. There is no middle ground in a decision you need to make. You're coming to a point where you have to take a side, one way or the other. I think we see this on a more mundane level in world events, but this will also be personal. So the structures that no longer serve you are collapsing. I just got a vision of the Berlin Wall falling. It's something that just suddenly collapses that you've seen as either a barrier or a comfort. But the real question is, are you ready to leave the wreckage behind? There's a saying, the night is always darkest before the dawn. And Saturn Cazimi is that final moment of pitch black before the sun shatters the horizon. It's decision time. It's yes or no. It's not maybe. make a decision. And that is what's going to facilitate this breakthrough, this potential breakthrough that can happen when the Sun and Saturn meet. And in particular, right now, they're meeting between Aries and Pisces, or Saturn is going back and forth. Now, Aries is Saturn's fall when it's the weakest. But Pisces, it's kind of a fight between this dreamy, creative, watery world, emotional world of Pisces and the very military, action-oriented Aries. So, could you imagine two more opposite signs? And they're, in fact, Aries is the beginning of the zodiac wheel. Pisces is the end. Something is coming to an end. Something that has been so important in your life is coming to an end. And that is not necessarily a bad thing. Something that you may have seen as structure and comfort, it needs to fall down. In tarot, think of the Tower card. Yes, everybody's afraid of the tarot card. But when you look at the card, in most depictions, you'll see there's lightning coming down to inspire. It's a breakthrough. It's an epiphany. You suddenly realize that something has got to change, and you have no choice but to change it. So the black sun, Saturn, meeting the sun itself is a paradox. It's a contradiction. It's a collision. I'm thinking of two cars hitting each other head on because it's that earth-shattering. But it's a collision of forces that feel impossible to resolve until the moment of clarity strikes like lightning. It is the Tower, but the Tower to break through to something much better. When the sun emerges from this fusion, it doesn't just rise, it bursts through, obfuscating what once seemed impassable, what once seemed impossible. Suddenly, opportunities may open up to you. This is a cosmic breaking point, and you have to pick a side. Will you stay within the confines of the old world, what feels comfortable, even if it isn't working for you? The one where the same problems repeat over and over and over? Or will you smash through the illusion of limitation and step into something new? You have to decide. And this is not going to be easy. God knows this is not a gentle transit. It's not about ease or flow or doing what feels best. It's about crisis. It's about the stark reality of what can't continue. What doesn't work must go. I think we are all feeling that. And when we're approaching a transit, we can feel the shadow of it. And especially with an outer planet, you start feeling the shadow of it as it's approaching that moment when it goes conjunct. What doesn't work must go. Saturn, when it meets with the sun, there is not negotiation. There is not middle ground. There is no middle bowl of porridge. It's just right. You're either going to take the smallest bowl of porridge or the biggest. And the sun doesn't ask for permission to rise. The only thing left is the choice. Will you rise with it? So, March 12th, 10-ish in the morning. Think about what barriers you need to smash. What is not working in your life? And let go of that which is not serving you anymore. Break free. So that's a rather important message to get out there. This is a big transit. And I hope this helps you. I wish you the best of luck for this conjunction of the sun and Saturn. Hang in there. We have some tough astrological events coming up still, especially in this year. So, and each one of them deserves their own video. So